What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut, Season 2, Episode 4. Man, it's your host, DJ $1 like I won some money, a.k.a. Zylo. Big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest. A very mega talented, super producer, mega engineer. I mean, he's been a part of some big records on the engineer side. He's definitely put his imprint on the production side and being a musician. He's worked with Balvin, Justin Beiber, Post Malone, Christina Milian. I mean, the list goes on for this brother. And, you know, I got Gemini Muziq. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
How did you know I work with Christina Milian?
I do my research.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you're right.
See,
yeah, I did work with her.
Fact check. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Staying away from all kinds of stupid rules.
There you go. I learned from this man, progress lies where you break the rules. And you know that if you understand anything that goes on with the entertainment world, that statement speaks volumes, because those are the people that are outliers. And you know, this gentleman is an outlier.
There we go.
So, you know, man, what's been going on? What you been up to?
So, you know, working, chiseling on, knocking on those doors, trying to get those songs placed and, you know, charted. You know, all kinds of pop records that I've been working on, reggaeton stuff that I've been doing with you that we're trying to get placed, and you know, just keeping the grind, never losing hope, and always like going to the next target, like achieving the next achievement. You know, never letting go, like just always like, you know, grinding. Daily. Yeah, progressing daily. Yeah, because you know, that's the way you get somewhere. You know, some people are lucky, but you have to work hard so luck will come closer to you. You know.
There you go. It's manifestation, prayer, hard work, hours put in. I mean, to be a master, like I said, an outlier is 10,000 hours. And so, you know, can you contest that you've done 10,000 hours in the studio?
10 times more than.
There you go. I mean, you know, that you know speaks volumes.
Yes,
so I got a quote. Let me know how the quote relates to you, or if it doesn't. It's okay. I don't care. Still got to talk about it.
Why am I doing this? Okay.
He said, why am I doing this?
Cut it.
All right. No, we're rolling. It's live.
Keep it.
It's live. So, you know, but here's the quote. Truth is the ultimate power. When the truth comes around, all lies have to run and hide. Ice Cube.
The thing is, like, what is the truth? Everybody has his own truth. But the thing is, like, people need to find their own truth in themselves and then go with their original word or sound or saying, and then that's the truth. You know, the truth is inside you. So if you follow your truth, nothing can stop you. You're bound to succeed.
Yeah, and then I mean,
you know,
unfortunately, there's non-disclosures that keep truth away from other people. So you know, it is what it is.
Wait, didn't we sign something? Yeah, right. Okay. All right.
I mean, it's a work for hire moment. But no, you're absolutely right. The truth definitely lies within the facts. And you know, everyone has their own story to it, depending on how they were treated. And you know, that's where the stories come out.
For sure.
And so you got to appreciate schools for, you know, giving us the runaround stories, and then colleges giving us the full length story.
Right.
And so, you know, that influenced me to have, you know, the show and get your full length story.
Nice.
So as we talk about the truth and lies and you know, the lies having to run and hide, let's get to it. Did the game choose you, or did you choose the game?
The game always chooses you, because life chooses you to do things that you never really think that you can do, but it just chooses you. Like, you find this girl and you never think that everything is going to happen, and you get married and you have kids with her, you know. So it's like, just life is like boom. It's like, there it is. You're going to do music. This is going to need to do blah, 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 ABCD. That's, you know.
When it happens
it's
fast
kind of,
and easy. But, you know, you've been in the game since 92. Am I wrong?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's 28 years in the game. Yeah. Would you say it's been a slow process, fast process?
It's been a slow process for me, because I wasn't in the right place. I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't in a small market. So, and then my musical tendencies were totally different than what the local music was. there, which is like Middle
now,
East.
When you say
stuff.
local,
Middle
we're
East,
talking
you know.
about Israel.
Yeah, Israel, Middle East, yeah. And then so they weren't open. Now they're a little more open
How
for it.
fast
so,
was it for you to go from Israel to America?
So 20 years in Israel, full-blown career as a producer, very well-known, gold, platinum albums, number one hits on radio
Did you
stations.
still have to go to the military? Even
I
though
did
you
the
were a
military
superstar?
for 2 years. Yeah, before the military, I had some success, and then after military, the first thing I did actually was go to Jamaica with Yossi Fine. That was my first gig. It's like recording reggae in the fucking Tough Gong Studios in Kingston, and so
Wow.
that was my first experience.
Wow.
So and then anything from there on was like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. This is not where I need to be. Like, you know, so
when
but
you
it
went to
takes balls, you know,
Jamaica,
like it takes balls to
Did
leave.
you have to go back to Israel in the Middle East, or did you have to, where from Jamaica, did you
Well,
go to America?
No, I was always going back and forth. I was actually performing with a very really famous artist from my country, and I managed to work. You know, I managed to travel everywhere, basically, like Amsterdam, France, England, South America, New York, Los Angeles. You know, I've been everywhere just because I was performing with artists. So like for all kinds of venues. But the in my head, I always knew, and people were telling me, bro, you don't belong here. You're not. This is not. Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Right. So.
You don't
yeah,
belong
you know,
there. You belong.
Yeah. So basically, I'm only 3.5 years in the music industry in America. That's
Only
all what
3.5 years?
That's like I've been here 9 years, but like the first 4, I was just trying to survive and to eat and live, like. And then when Poo Bear just, opened the door for me, then that was like 3.5 years ago. He kind of gave me my first opportunity, and then that's where
my purpose with Justin Bieber.
The purpose with Justin Bieber, I did the engineering for the record. That was the first introduction into the industry, basically the first real introduction to the industry. And then I recorded the track with Poo Bear and his wife that was released under his album under Universal, which is called Happy Bearthday. That's the album, and then the track name is Blessing and a Curse.
Okay.
It's like I'm playing guitars and piano there, and it's like I just prepared the track, and then they came in and wrote the song on it, and so that was recorded.
So that was
back
the
in
process with Poo Bear. What was the process for the My Purpose track?
Came into the studio, a bunch of people, 5-6 different people, tracking songs, trying to get some placements. One of them was Purpose. Poo Bear recorded it. He played it to Bieber. Bieber loved it. He cried. He goes, I want this song for my album, and that's it. Then we just created a song that we didn't know where it was going to land, but it landed with Bieber, and it became, his number one, I think, number one selling album till today, right now, till tonight. And then,
yes, 4 times platinum.
I think it was 5 already.
It's already 5?
Yeah, it's already 5, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that was the theme song, and the name of the album was Purpose. So I was at the moment that we created that record, which is like, a huge opportunity for me.
Would you say that was your first confirmation in the industry of like, not only, you came from your country, you went to Jamaica, got into reggae music, and then you found your way here. Was that your first big confirmation, or do you feel like you had another confirmation along the way that led to this?
I had prior I had a confirmation from Atlantic's CEO, where we had to do a remix for Rio 5, the movie, with Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
So we did the theme song remix, and then from all the remixes that he received, he liked mine the best, and then he said that I want to work with this guy. He's the best. I've never heard of him, and then that's what gave me like, okay, I can really do stuff here in this industry.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's when Poo Bear came in, and there was Lil Twist in the middle, like a year recording him in the studio.
Twist, Cash Money.
Yeah, Cash Money, right. And then the
Money.
manager, the manager was managing him and Poo Bear, so he kind of opened,
So you could contest that relationships will definitely get you further than money will get you.
Yeah, the best thing to do is like you have to do 2 things as an artist, like make your music, or produce your music, and then network. So you have to like do an hour music and then hour promotion. Okay, so I hit up all kinds of guys. Like just today, I posted a song by Pressure. Pressure is like one of my favorite reggae artists.
Okay.
He's verified. He has 18 million views, 13 million views on all kinds of songs. It's reggae. It's like a small niche, but still, like when I did that, he recognized me. He said, "Bless up, bro. Big up." You know. So he just now, just like an hour ago. So you never know. You just like connect to artists. You never know, or just media or industry people, and somebody's gonna, if you're good, they're gonna.
So how did we get from the Real 5 movie to My Purpose to where we have, you can't come to West Coast Custom Studio without talking to you first?
Well, I mean, things build, when you first start off, you're nothing, and then, I didn't have any place to live. Like I wasn't even like, I couldn't afford to rent a room like in LA. Like I had a loan, like $100,000 loan in my country, and I was still paying that back, and I wasn't making any money because nobody knows who the fuck I am. Because even if I have all these gold and platinum records back in my country, here you're nothing, you're zero. So you start from scratch. Like so, it's a hustle, it's a struggle.
So you had to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, you have to prove yourself basically, reprove yourself from scratch. Obviously, I had the background. I knew how to do Pro Tools. I knew how to record. I knew how to produce. That's experience. But still, you have to get recognized. People have to like believe you. That they want to work with you. And I think but what helped me get faster in the game was just being a yes guy, which people hate it. People say that you don't need to be a yes guy, but if you're just beginning, you just need to take anything they throw at you. Like you need to be like a fucking slave, basically. Right. Like you need to suffer. Like if you suffer, then then they appreciate you. They want you to. Also, you have to always be like nice. Never like, even if it's a bad critic, just take it in a nice way. Because people want to work with somebody. I mean, there's lots of talented people, but if you're nice, they'd rather work with you than somebody that's like a little irritated or just like hard to work with, but extremely talented. Nobody will work with them. So.
See, the reward is greater though in the end, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And then when you get that milestone, when you get that placement, then you start being like a little more of a boss, and you're like, okay, shit, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do a little leverage. You a little leverage.
You can say no now.
Right.
It's important.
Exactly.
Ryan Fest told me something that was stuck with me, and I'm able to keep on bringing it up. And he said you got to say yes to things that make sense.
Well, when you're
on the bottom and you're trying to climb up, you don't know how you're going to keep on climbing. So you have to say yes to things.
There we go. You don't know how you're going to climb. So I'll give you an example. I had this like crazy ass looking rabbi, Matisiao, right? He had a huge song called One 10 years ago, I think, something. And then he came to play in my country, and I played keys for him because I was a reggae keyboard player. And then after the gig, was like, hey, bro, you want to record with me? I have some songs. And he was nothing, was nobody. And it's like, with all this like fucking, like Jewish shit. And I'm like, what the hell does he want? He's like, he looks like a freak. I don't want to work with you, bro. I'm busy. And he didn't have any money. And then 3 months later, he blew up. So you never know. You never know. God sends you, like, he blew up big time. And he was like, bro, I want you to come with me to New York. I'm like, what the fuck does he want? And I said, no. So,
you hear that?
Yeah.
He regrets it.
You never know.
He regrets it.
Yeah.
How many days was you just walking around the house with your head down like, God?
Till today I'm walking like this, bro. Every time you remind me of that shit. But that's what I'm saying. You're stupid, yeah. But you know what? That's the tip that I'm giving to other people. Like your guy, I mean, you never know what's gonna be that chance. Some guy you'll never believe that can be like a superstar or famous is gonna be famous, and you're gonna tell him you can't say no. That's what I'm saying. You have to be always yes, because actually God, I think, tests, or whatever you believe in, it tests you. Like he brings things into your life because you want to be a megastar. You can't just be a megastar right away. You have to go through ladders, steps.
Levels,
so you have to go through this guy, that guy, and then so I think just being open-minded, just trying things, you never know, because maybe if I started working with this guy, we've had like a great song going together, and then that will give me a sign, because everything is like layer on layer.
So let me ask you this, because this is a two-part question, because I want to know from Israel to America, what were some of your big highs in Israel, and what were some of your lows in Israel? And then, what were some of your highs in America so far, and what has been some of the lows?
Well, my highs in Israel was just like working with #1 artists, like he's like the Michael Jackson of Israel. So that was a high for sure. I was like at the peak of the career, and then having like
what were you doing for them?
producing.
Just all production.
I'm like straight up a producer. That's what I did in my country.
That's your passion.
That's how music found me, as a producer. But when I got here, obviously your production, nobody really,
It took a while for the world to, or United States to accept world sounds.
Exactly, yeah. It still is a process, exactly. And then you need to adapt. You need to find your sound and adjust your sound incorporate it into the American market and make it, together and fuse it. Anyways, you need to find a new sound, because you can't sound like something that's already there, So you have to own your own production.
So
sound.
what were some of the lows in Israel?
Well, the lows were in Israel was actually there was always a low for me in Israel. Even though I always had success in Israel. I never had like any lows, but it was like 50% of the success. And then the feeling of not being fulfilled, that was my low. Constantly feeling that I'm working with this big artist, but something's not right. I don't like this. It's not me. I don't feel like I'm doing what I need to do in life. Like constantly, like just hitting you in the head, and you're just like you're not fulfilled. You're sad, So that's why I just like a fully blown 20-year career where I could probably continue till today. I just cut everything, left my studio to a very famous producer. He's now working there, and just like cut everything and just came here with nothing. I had like a small little artist opportunity to work with, or something like didn't even pay that much, but I didn't even know. I didn't even.
That was your excuse to come here.
Yeah, the small little gig. She's a cool artist. We had a song on Billboard 23, so it was kind of cool. That was the first thing. Yeah.
What song?
It's called "I'm Free" by Hala. It's like an artist, but she was on Billboard charts. Number 23. So that was like 7 years ago when I first got her. But then after she left, she actually had to leave back to Israel, and then I met her in Israel, right? And then so we kind of switched. She's there now, and I'm here. So, but basically, it's just like a grind. Every day. It was like just not knowing what was going to be the change point. And then when Poo Bear came in the picture, that was.
And then here we go, boom, you got your quick gig, something that made sense to come out here, and then you found every excuse to stay, not to leave.
My excuse was like, I can't leave without making it here, or some kind of a degree of success. So if I need to sleep on the street, I'll do it. That's what my mindset was, like this. Like I'm just like, I have to make it. I don't care. I'm not going to Israel. It doesn't matter. I heard people that came here from my country and came back and gave up. And I'm fuck. I'm not leaving. It doesn't matter what happens.
So were you hungry enough to pretty much sleep on top of a building that was a record?
Yeah, I was hungry. I was super. And you know what? I kind of lost that hungriness once you have some kind of success, which is for me it was just like a small little thing. And now I'm reaching back into my hungry, appetite thing. I think maybe it's because of what's going on right now. So it's like, and it gives you inspires you to move yourself and get things going. Rejuvenate. Yeah, exactly. And
go
back.
Makes you feel young again.
Yeah, you always have to be hungry. You can't lose that hunger, because then that's when you start falling off. Like even when you get success, you need to be prepared to take it in, because people are not prepared for success too. So let's say I wasn't making any money, and then started making money. Now I have 10 clients contacting me, and sometimes I find myself only finishing work for 2 clients. That's not good, because the 8 that are waiting will not really be so happy they're not going to be happy working with you again, or they're just going to smooth off, or they're going to find some other situation. So you need to be even work hard. It's like they say the first hit is the easiest one. Mario Barrett, Mario Barrett, he had the "Baby Let Me Love You."
Yeah.
So I have a huge song with him that wasn't released. And he's the kind of artist that had that one big hit, and then he just couldn't follow up. But it's like, once you have that one song, you need to work 10 times harder.
Yeah,
it's
you
crazy.
Need to 10 more.
Exactly, because success is just temporary. You have to always be the latest, latest and the best. You have to always grind. It's crazy. You can't just sleep on your success.
I've heard stories where, they're about to have a hit record, then all of a sudden life happens, and then that artist you mess with goes to jail, and that song you're about to put out doesn't get put out the same way. And so the promotion that was going to be there in video, that was going to be there, is no longer there. So yeah. I definitely agree with you that You know, timing and vibes is everything, especially executing when you feel like the moment's right. And, you know, control what you can control and let go of everything else. But let's take a pause on the music and let's go into our awareness segment because, you know, I'm dying to find out someone that, you know, is his office, his studios at West Coast Custom, you know, book your session through him. But at the same time, he goes across all these cars. And, you know, he has a couple of nice cars himself. So I got to ask him, you know, when was the last time you were pulled over? And number 2, what's some advice you can give to someone young in the situation and doesn't know what to do in the situation of getting pulled over?
Well, I was pulled over for a front light, non-functioning light, headlight. So I really try to, you know, I keep, you know, I never cross a red traffic light and all that stuff. I mean, but you know what? I came here older, so when I was younger, you know, I drove fast and you know, and I didn't really respect the rules. And then, you know, I mean, you want to, you know, when you're young, you do stupid things, but when you grow older, you know, obviously, you just become more aware and then more, you know, wise, exactly. And you're just like, you just actually, you know what? When I drive and I see people that are driving faster than me, I'm like, wow, I was like that before, you know. Now I'm not. Like I'm more, because there's no point of driving fast if you don't really need to, or just like not following the rules. Like, and even if you do, then you have to be smart about it to make sure there's no police cars around you.
You learn to arc your back and look above traffic as much as you can.
You know, when you're just on highway, yeah. What to say about? Hey, where's no police? Okay.
So what's one thing you can leave with someone that's young if they were to get pulled over? What's the advice that you can give them?
Well, you know what? If you're pulled over, and always be super dumb and nice to the officer. They love that stuff. When you're
super
just
dumb and nice.
And nice. Just like, oh, sorry, officer, I didn't know. And then you know what I even do? Thanks for pulling me over, officer. I'm like, thank you. I'm like,
thank you for pulling me
over. And it's like, they don't know what to do. Like, what? What do you mean, thank you?
That is the coldest bar ever.
Bro, they love that shit. I'm like, I'm pretty sure your work you're doing, man. I know, you know, you're doing some hard work, man. You're just like, lick that ass. But and actually, it works for everything. Also in the industry, I mean, unfortunately, yeah. But hard work is is your proof, is your truth.
Okay.
Trying to be funny?
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, that happens too. They ask me, yeah. They're kind of like, what is he trying to do? And then they're like, okay, he's funny because it's kind of a dumb thing to do as well. So it's like, okay, this guy is dumb. They're just, okay, you can just go. I'll just give you a fixed ticket. You know, it's like, you're dumb.
So
it worked, yeah.
I have this next thing, you know, it's called Trading Places, and it's like we got real serious talking about being pulled over. Sometimes it can be a scary moment to think about. So I got to be like, how do we have fun after that? So I came up with this idea of Trading Places. You know, all the listeners know, they're probably wondering what 2 people I'm going to select for you. And, you know, I thought about it. I had something written down. I was like, no, it hit me right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Justin Bieber's live and cross him with Jamie Foxx.
Uh-huh.
And so question number 1 is, will it work? And question number 2 is, what would life be like if, you know, Justin Bieber was Jamie Foxx and Jamie Foxx was Justin Bieber?
Can they can they combine and be one guy?
No, there's no transformation.
You want to trade?
Or Power
like
Rangers
100% trade?
Up. No.
100% trade? They're pretty similar though, because Jamie Foxx is also a musician. Basically, he's also into music. And
can you see Justin Bieber as an actor?
Yeah, of course.
And can you see Justin Bieber as the quarterback on any given Sunday?
Yeah, he's really good in sports too. Like,
now, can you see Jamie Foxx doing My Purpose?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can pull it off. He do the R&B version of it.
How do you think the punk episode would be with Justin Bieber with it now being Jamie Foxx?
I don't know how to answer that. Punk? You got me all confused, bro. Well, they'll need to Justin Bieber is going to have to tan, though. Like, you know.
Justin Bieber cannot play Ray.
Okay, no. Exactly. He can't do that. No. He can't play the, what's that movie?
You know, it hit me, bro. It was like, thanks, black man off camera. Please let us white people know that it's not okay to say that Justin Bieber can play Ray.
Justin
you
Bieber
right.
Can't be playing no Ray.
No, hell no.
draw the line right
Yeah,
there.
please draw it. Draw the line. La la la. Wait, what was that
But it'd
movie?
be
What
nice-
was it? Django.
Oh, Django.
You know what? That's another one. That's another one.
That's not gonna work out. No. Cancel that right away.
Man, big shout
No
out
trade right there.
Jamie
No
Foxx,
trade.
Justin Bieber. Oh
Yeah.
man, what would be one thing different if Jamie Foxx was Justin Bieber? Name one song that'd be different,
All that matters to me. There you go.
and how would he name it?
My boo.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
So I got this next segment. It's called Impulse Q&A, and the whole idea is that give your impulse answer for my question. And sometimes I have cards questions written on cards, and other times I just have it off the top of my head. And fortunately for you, you got to deal with my brain.
By the way, I'm half black. I'm half African. So all respect. So please, nobody I can. I've been called the N-word before. Like the African N-word.
You know something? Everybody.
Half Moroccan.
I'm mixed myself.
Half Moroccan, bro.
That's the whole point of the show is Contrast Uncut.
Bro.
Juvenile looked over here like, we're good, right?
There we go. Yes, please validate
about that?
that
I don't know
boo.
about him, but hey.
Validate me.
Shit.
You can look it up.
Shit. The fuck out of here. All right, back to business.
Okay, we need to do those cards.
So,
we have to
yeah.
do it.
No, yeah, we got to do the
Okay.
Impulse Q&A. You got to answer these questions.
Okay,
So here
buddy.
we go.
Okay.
You got an option to pass, but you still got to answer 3 questions.
Okay.
If
Pass.
you were
Just kidding, no.
if you
Go.
were trapped in an elevator for 3 hours,
Uh
who would you be trapped with, and what would you be doing?
huh. Scooter Brown.
Scooter Brown. Okay.
Yeah, closing a publishing deal, or just like a management deal.
He said, if I had 3 hours trapped with someone,
Or
I'd handle business.
I'll give him some of my records for Bieber for all his artists, Ariana Grande.
Okay.
Have him place that shit there.
What's one thing that you were surprised when you came to America about food that everyone loves, that you're like, I don't get?
Ooh, that's a good one. McDonald's?
You don't get McDonald's? They don't have McDonald's in Israel?
They do, but I probably just didn't really like McDonald's anyways. I mean, I like it, but after I eat it, it fucks me up so bad. Like you taste you finish your meal, it's like, oh, I'm so happy, and then like an hour later, what's going on?
Why did I eat that?
What's
You
going
know
on?
what?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly,
happy we
yeah.
talked about this because he brought up McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and I went to
Right.
Walt Disney World, and they got the world of all the Coca-Colas. What does Israel Coke taste like compared to American Coke?
McDonald's tastes different. I mean, in every country they do it differently anyway, so it tastes kind of different as well, But Coke, I don't know. I don't drink soda, so I'm not a soda guy. I'm a water guy. See, like I carry this bottle with me, like I'm carrying a baby.
So I got a bonus question,
Uh-huh.
and I asked some of my producers this question where I get real interested to know what the process is like. So what is the process like for you when you're making a beat? Do you have movies on in silent? Are you playing a video game, or are you having a motivational speaker talking in the background? Are you listening to jazz music for inspiration? What is the process?
You know what? The thing is, like, music is magical, but the process is very linear, and then it's very technical, right? So if you need to if you call yourself a musician, beat maker, or whatever, producer, you need to constantly make beats, because it's just like a muscle. Basically, it's just like training in the gym, bro. That's it. So once you got that covered, all the technical shit is behind you. You don't even thinking about the playing or the recording and then the software is all in your hand. Like you don't really feel you don't have to like be hard. You don't have to figure out shit on your software. Then you open yourself to energy, and then the energy just comes to you from nowhere. You can't even explain. It's nothing you can't explain. And you're working, and then suddenly things happen. Your hands do stuff that you're not really, because you're not focused on
like
technical.
an outer body experience?
It's all it is, because music is. I mean, music is, what is music? I'm talking to you right now. You hear me. can you catch it? You can't really grasp it. It's nothing. It's just in the air. It just goes.
Music is something
it's
that
vibrations.
sticks to you.
Yeah, it's
It
vibrations.
sticks.
Yeah,
The waves stick to you.
yeah,
Something that sounds
exactly.
good.
It's vibrations.
Boom.
You know, so it's all about vibrations and energy. You know, so and then if you want to have a great vocal recording, you want to make sure the artist believes every single word he's singing. Like, it needs to be like real, because a crowd doesn't know how to explain it, but when he hears something that's not connected spiritually or energetically, then they're not going to buy the record.
You know what? Because he's talking about some history and some real powerful gems that, you know, as an artist, as a producer, if you're involved in music, you should really take heed to it. But I got to throw this moment in. So, you know who the first rapper is? Anybody?
Tupac?
Nope. It was a Greek philosopher from back in the BC days named Homer. And he actually invented the whole hieroglyphics.
Oh, shit.
Because this is what happened. He used to be on a walkway, like where our people used to go village to village and they'd hunt and gather. And he'd be right there and he'd be sitting there spitting poetry. And the poetry would be rhyming words. And so people were like, man, what the fuck did Homer say? And they'll be like, okay, let's write down those symbols that he's saying. And then they put the symbols on like pieces of chopped up wood and stuff, and with the, you know, blood or whatever the hell they could make, or mud that was chalky, and, you know, water, and then boom. They have all these signs, and they used to tell the story of Homer. And so, you know, what I learned in college was that Homer was the first rapper.
Wow, it's crazy.
You know, it's the only class I got an A in was about rap music and hip hop. So go figure.
Well, you know what? I do believe schools are good, but lots of history facts are not really like proven 100%. Like, you don't really know what really happened, and then history was rewritten so many times. The Bible was rewritten. So I think, like, if you do your own research, you know, you can find a lot of, you know, things that are, you know, going to be interesting to you. I mean, maybe it's true, you're saying. I'm not saying it's not, but just like in general, it's good to know facts. Like, don't believe other people or what all the other people are doing. If everybody's going right, you go left. Like, you do your own, you know, your own thing. You know, be original, and then don't be scared to say your voice. You know.
See, that's the key thing. If you go left while everyone's going right, you have to not be afraid of what's going to happen to you. What's going to be the, you know, the shit that's going to scare the hell out of you, and you got to live with it. And, you know, you got to walk by faith and not by sight, and be okay with it.
There we go.
So, as we get all fucking philosophical on this thing, let me ask you this: what are you most excited for coming up? You know, you've been working. I know, like, I don't want to talk too much about some of the stuff I know that you've been a part of, but I do want to hear about some of the stuff that has came out. I know we got the J.R. Castro record.
Right. The J.R. Castro record was really incredible. I have another record that I just sold to Poo Bear. It's like kind of like an EDM-ish vibe, kind of like a Skrillex kind of a record, but he's going to produce or co-produce it with me, and he just bought the rights from me, and we did it together on one of my beats, and so I'm excited about that record. He just, like 3-4 months ago, he just got it off me, so I'm excited to see where that record's going to go to.
So, you know, as you bring that up, I got to ask this. What is the process like for producers where, you know, like in that moment, he's going to buy your rights? Does that mean you still get credit?
Yeah, no, of course. He's just going to buy the rights to be the owner of the records, and obviously I'm going to get my credit. I'm going to get my couple or whatever percent. We're going to figure out, because it's going to be collaboration of people. So right now it's not locked in. But definitely everything is you know, it's not going to be a ghostwriter. I'm going to get my credit and all that stuff. So it's definitely something that I'm excited. Looking forward for.
What do you got going on at the studio that you're excited about?
Well, you know, I'm working with a few new talented artists that are they have like she's one of those Miami artists from Miami, and she has like a nice pop. We're doing a Lana Del Rey meets Post Malone kind of a vibe, so it's like a new lane we're taking with her, and then I'm excited for that project to come out. She has a pretty good. Her parents are pushing her, and she's just got articles out, and so I'm excited for that project to come out.
Okay.
So yeah.
Anything else you leaking out, or you gonna hold it all?
There's big stuff in the pipeline, huge stuff, and the huge stuff I like to keep silent, because I think in silence there's a blessing. Like there's, so the less you talk about your big stuff that's gonna come, because music and the industry is very unpredictable. So it's better to keep the big stuff out of sight, because people like to talk, and that energy is not good if you really wanna the big when you have a big thing going on, just keep it for yourself. And when it happens, the whole world will know anyway. So,
producer question.
No, got everything.
Okay.
Nothing I'm just.
I'm talking about my Moroccan side. It's not North Africa, bro. It's like right there, boom. Like Poo Bear told me once, "You're more African than me." What? What do you mean?
Okay. No, that's dope.
Right.
I mean, it's just a pleasure to be around and hearing your story, because one thing about Contrast and Cut, it's always been about being organic and getting the tales to make you what you are right now.
Nice.
So,
yes, sir.
You're just dropping gems, and I appreciate you.
Same. Appreciate you guys coming here.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
interviewing.
I gotta end the show how I do it every time. And I don't know if you're ready for this, but the show's unique, but it's a little same, because we talk about some of the same stuff, but differently. And so I'm like, how else do I be different? How do I finish the show and be different? And I'm like, you got any questions for me?
Oh, that's different. Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing
What's
this?
pushing you to do these podcasts? What's the reward?
That's a good question. Wow.
Do. I mean, I have a genuine passion
Is
for
that a
this.
dog question? I don't know.
The history behind everybody is so unique, and there's so many people that have talents and they're afraid of success, so they get to that cul-de-sac of opportunity, and you know what they do? They turn around and walk back with their tail between their legs. And then you got some people that said, you know what? I'm not going to do that no matter what. Even if that means I'm going to be homeless in the streets, I'm going to take every risk possible so that I can build a bridge, get over this cul-de-sac, and make something happen in their lives. And
Nice.
that's something I do with everyone that that's been on the show, is they have a success story. They
Nice.
have those moments of building that bridge over that, and where they weren't afraid of success. So that the people that are afraid and they're thinking about building it, this will be the motivation to get over it.
Nice. That's beautiful, bro.
Thank you.
All right.
It's the truth.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah, it's Contrast Uncut, Season 2, Episode 4. Big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. Man, I've had the honor and the pleasure of rocking with, super producer, mega engineer. If you need to book
Humble.
something, holla at Gemini Muziq.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
And be a legend through Ebonics, was a sticker boy. Felt like sticky fingers played at Onyx. Can I live? Track 8. Feel like Jigga 96. Without a reasonable doubt, the album turned me into this. Shit, we always had dreams of being money making Mitch without jewelry on. Hit a jail pose, take a flick. Feel like Pac and keep your head up. Biggie shooting juice. Coach is still alive, just let me prove. King, nigga. Everything that you do. Hip hop really taught me to give it all I got left. Wu-Tang taught us how to beat the projects and tell my story over beats, and it could be a